Hello, I am Jayanto Chatterjee of IIT Kanpur, and we are interacting with you on this series of sessions on services management in the contemporary world and the contemporary issues. This is the fourth week of our interaction. This is the first session of the fourth week. You would recall in the last couple of sessions we were discussing about new service value creation through co-creation by co-opting the customer in the value creation process. So we were looking at new service creation, like if you would recall, we talked about that vertical urban gardening service or jewelry from trash creation as a service level enhancement, income level enhancement for rack pickers. In this and next session, we will look at new service creation more in terms of process and operations. So earlier we were discussing at conceptual level, strategic level. Now we will discuss new service creation at an operational level. New service creation, of course, has a whole lot of deeper operational issues like personnel, deployment, sizing of employment, the facility location, infrastructure for facilities. But in this couple of sessions, we will more focus on the flow and the process blueprint and creation of new service from studying existing blueprints. So we have already seen before that service systems will have equipment, technology, human resources deployed in facilities. There will be some inventories related to product service, and this will be linked through a series of steps, through interactions with each of these blocks, through interactions between these blocks and among these blocks. The most important point for you to notice, which is coming as a continuation from the last session, is that customer is now not only at the receiving end, customer is also at the creation end. So customer is also inputting, just as designers are inputting, suppliers are inputting, R&D people are inputting, customers are participating on this side, the creative side. And then through these various steps, through the interaction of these blocks, customer is receiving the end product. So to complete this diagram, therefore, this is the overall service delivery process, which starts with customer and ends with the customer. We have also discussed earlier that normally when we look at this service blueprint, we divide it in two stages. The front side is called the front stage. This is the back of the house. So customer comes in, customer's entry. There is some kind of delay, so this can be the reception, this can be the table booking system, this can be the ticket booking system, whatever. And then the customer goes through these stages and the customer exits. This is the traditional way of looking at process flow through the service. This simple diagram can be elaborated, which you have seen this diagram before, which is the service blueprint of a restaurant. So we have this line of visibility. We have this whole process from customer's entry to the various place where there is ordering, receiving of the food and consumption of the food, and then the customers exit. And it is supported by a whole lot of service blocks in the middle and at the backstage. The kitchen, the accounting, the computer system, the air conditioning system, all that will be necessary at the back end to give a good experience at the front end. And this whole thing has to work together. As earlier when we discussed about the Sarvakshan system or product service integral system, we looked at this blueprint. But today what I am trying to highlight to you is to provide you with some templates like this one, so that you can develop simple blueprints for the services that you will have to study as an assignment for these 2 sessions or the assignment of this week. So I provide you with another more detailed template, which is suitable therefore for developing a more complex blueprint, and you can take a printout of this template and use it for your assignment for uploading onto the forum. Wider participation from all of you will be very important to make this course superlative. Just my talking to you and your listening and taking notes or downloading the lecture and seeing it again will not be at all satisfactory. We will then be in the old paradigm where I am behaving like a sage on a stage. I would like to invite you to be a co-contributor to the knowledge of service management, so that your insights, your experiences, your observations can enrich each other and I can learn from all of you. So I would like all of you to make our forum lively. I am already very thankful to all of you for contributing some excellent material. Some of those I will be showing in my future lectures, the kind of high quality input that you have provided. But I want many of you to come forward, and that's why I am providing these templates, so that it becomes easier for you to visualize and develop this kind of more thorough, more detailed blueprints. Now the blueprint process only focuses on explicit deliveries and explicit supports, or what we call enhancing and supplementary services. So the core service is supply of food and beverage. We had discussed that model of flower of service. So the core is food and beverage service, and around it are all these, whether menu, whether the bill, whether the interaction with the steward about suggestions, all those are the enhancing and augmenting services and supplementary facilitating services. But we have to start a little backward. So we have been actually looking at these two blocks earlier. Mark my pointer. To some extent we have discussed about the service concept generation and the role of the customer in new service concept generation last week. But service strategy and service concept correlation is something let us briefly review here. So service concept focuses on the exact criteria that will satisfy the customer. Later on, when we look at customer satisfaction models, we will look at the key constituents of these service concepts. By service content, what we normally mean is the menu of different service blocks that are being offered, and service style is how it will be delivered. Anyway, these are all terminologies that you can easily search and get much more data on. Service concept will therefore embrace all these four parts: operation, experience, outcome, and the value provided. Service content will be steps that are followed to serve the customer, points in the process where the service provider employee may have to make decisions. So these are the touch points that we had referred to earlier, which are also discretionary points, discretionary decision making points for service employees. So your system has to empower your employees to be able to have discretionary power at those touch points. And sometimes these points are the same as the points where the customer may have to wait. Now this is how you understand an existing service and how it is structured and its constituent parts. Now new services can have origins which can be well explained by adapting the Ansoff matrix in case of the service industry. Igor Ansoff had provided this very simple but very useful 2 by 2 matrix, and we call this the so-called ESNS and ECNC. This is the adapted for the service industry Igor Ansoff's original matrix. And existing service, new service, existing customer, new customer. So all businesses are here at any point of time. Existing service being offered to existing customers. So new services can be created in these 3 trajectories. Either it can be existing service offered, new service offered to existing customer, existing service offered to new customer. So new service to existing customer and existing service to new customer. Existing service to new customer means that a company is operating as a mobile phone operator in Russia or in Europe, and they come to India. It's the same mobile phone service. They bring all their capabilities, their know-how, their infrastructure, their technology, all those service blocks, which you can capture on a blueprint, which we were discussing, and they deploy it for new customers in India. or you can bring a new service to the existing customers in India. So there is already a mobile phone company in India, and they can now bring live video streaming on 5G network, where you can see a full movie quite comfortably on your handheld device in real time, good speed, good clarity, and at a very reasonable price. That's a new service to existing customer. Normally, when we talk about new service, it can therefore either be new to the existing customers. So this is a more like a technological or process enhanced offering, or it can be service wise not very different. There is not much of new technology development here, but it is a market development activity, service market development activity. The very challenging area, of course, is this new service for new customers. New service to new customers, or even new service to existing customers, can be stimulated by sensing human needs, sensing needs that are not properly fulfilled, not adequately met today. So sensing this need based opportunity is a starting point for new service development. Sometimes new services are developed today stimulated by social needs for survival and growth of population, social needs that are not adequately covered. So the new service development cycle will look somewhat like this. We will get into much more detailed explanation of this in the next session, but you can now look at this whole picture as a composite systems approach and think about it. We will start our discussion with the same picture tomorrow. Thanks.